Hey everyone, get ready for a major shock. The death of Princess Diana remains an unhealed pain, but maybe we've never truly understood it fully. Imagine Prince William and Harry, two strong men, breaking down in tears as the unimaginable is revealed before their eyes. King Charles has unveiled a secret kept hidden for decades, Princess Diana's final wish. A heartfelt and powerful letter that could overturn everything they ever thought about their mother, the royal family, and even the monarchy itself. Why was this wish kept hidden? What does it mean for the two brothers torn apart by their past? This isn't just a royal revelation, it's a moment that could shake the very foundation of the British monarchy. If you find this story surprising, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, comment 0. Don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe to support the channel. Let's enjoy the video together. Behind the closed doors of Clarence House, the official residence of King Charles, away from the prying eyes of the media, a moment unfolded that would forever change the course of royal history. King Charles, in a rare and deeply emotional gesture, opened a private safe. The safe is said to have remained untouched for many years. Inside, instead of royal artifacts or state documents, there was a sealed envelope bearing the handwriting of Princess Diana. Charles called his two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. Handing them the envelope, he uttered an emotional statement. "This is your mother's final wish. She wrote this for you." The room fell into a heavy silence. This was a letter that had been hidden from them for over 2 decades. Charles did not need to explain further. Inside the envelope was a handwritten letter from Diana, written just weeks before her death. Only Charles and his most trusted aide knew of its existence until now. The contents of the letter revealed a side of Diana's final thoughts that had been kept hidden, a wish for the future of her sons, free from the constraints of royalty. It wasn't about jewelry, titles, or royal duties. It was about freedom, protection, and love. "She wanted us to live as normal people first," Harry is said to have remarked after reading it. For William, that moment was deeply personal. This was not just a letter to him. He saw it as a final message from the mother he had lost too soon. A woman silenced by the very world she had tried to change. But I did not realize how overwhelming that attention would become, nor how it would affect both my public duties and my personal life in ways that would be almost unbearable. She wanted them to live a free life. This revelation sparked emotions and raised important questions. Why did Charles keep the letter hidden? What had Diana requested in those final lines? The answers to these questions set off a chain of reactions within the family, threatening to alter the future of the monarchy itself. This was more than they could bear. They were about to uncover deeper secrets that could reshape the legacy of the British royal family. Stay tuned, because what you are about to learn could change everything you thought you knew about Princess Diana and the monarchy. Diana's wish was for her sons to be free. The letter was brief, but its impact resonated deeply at the very core of the monarchy. Written in the unmistakable handwriting of Princess Diana just weeks before her death, this final message was not about accumulating wealth or gaining grand titles. It wasn't even about seeking revenge on those who had wronged her. It was a heartfelt plea from a mother, urgent, emotional, and unforgettable. According to a close aide, the letter reads in part, "Let them live without fear. Let them be themselves." These words were meant for her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. They were truly the center of her world. They were the reason she endured every cold dinner, every public betrayal, and every tear shed in silence. Diana feared the palace would turn them into statues, polished, distant, and emotionally repressed. She had witnessed what it did to Charles and to the generations before him. The monarchy did not teach its heirs how to feel. It taught them to elevate their performance no matter the cost. Diana didn't want that for her sons. "I don't want them to be trapped in a life they didn't build for themselves," she wrote. "They must be free to love, free to feel free to lead without wearing a mask." That was truly radical. Stay with us, because what's coming next will make you question everything you thought you knew about Princess Diana's legacy. There are too many coincidences, too many strange things that don't add up. Everything seems suspicious. Don't miss it. It was emotional. It was completely Diana. She knew that one day William would bear the weight of the crown, and Harry, as the second son, would carry something even heavier, the feeling of being seen as the spare. Diana worried that both would be shaped by duty rather than desire, that the expectations would erode their true selves. This wasn't about rebellion. This was about protection. As the world closed in around them, their self-esteem dissolved into the fog of loneliness and despair. As they increasingly withdrew from those who could help, Diana lived through what she described as the emotional void of the monarchy. She had begged for warmth only to receive rules in return. She needed support and was met with complete silence in return. She became the most photographed woman in the world, yet still felt completely unseen. She didn't want that story to repeat, but what shocked William and Harry the most was not just their mother's wish. It was realizing that their father had kept it hidden for over 20 years. The letter was sealed, placed in a separate file, and buried under layers of official paperwork in Charles's personal safe. Why? According to insiders, Charles feared what Diana's words would do not just to the public image of the monarchy, but to its fragile structure behind the scenes. If Diana's final wish was for her sons to renounce the control of the royal family, how could the institution possibly survive? Some palace aides claimed Charles was concerned that it would encourage Harry to continue his estrangement and sow dangerous doubts in William's mind. Others believe it wasn't about protection at all. It was about power, about control. Whatever the reason, the damage had been done. The truth had been exposed. Now both brothers were forced to confront a reality that had been hidden from them throughout their adult lives. But for William, the impact was even deeper. Diana didn't just write a letter for both of her sons. In 2004, during a quiet renovation at one of Diana's homes, an unexpected discovery was made. A letter buried for years had been forgotten between the pages of Diana's personal album. This letter, unlike anything the royal family had ever seen, was addressed specifically to Prince William. It was not a public statement or an official communication. It was deeply personal, a raw and intimate conversation between mother and son. When William read those words, it is said to have shattered him. The letter revealed something no one outside the family ever fully understood: Diana's deep awareness of the burden her son would one day have to carry. "One day you will be king," she wrote. But what followed was not a call to fulfill duty or a lecture on royal responsibility. It was a plea: "Promise me, my dear, that you will not lose the boy inside you." In that moment, Diana's words cut through the years. The voice of a mother warning her son about what he was about to inherit, the harsh expectations, the pressure to conform, the loss of self that comes with wearing the crown. This becomes even more suspicious when we consider the timing of the letter. It wasn't written in the 1990s when the relationship between Charles and Diana had exploded into public view, but rather during the quiet tension before the public ever knew about the breakdown of their marriage. Did Charles truly think this way at that time? Who was the letter written to, a trusted advisor within the Church of England, or perhaps someone closer like the successor to Lord Mountbatten? Some within the palace claim that this was not a slip of the tongue, but a deliberate and emotional decision. The words in the letter have caused historians to rewrite the royal family's timeline. This leads them to wonder whether this is an early confession of something far larger than we had ever imagined. Could this be the royal cover-up that has persisted for years? The theory that Harry may have been born via a surrogate, once dismissed and silenced for decades, has resurfaced. This idea was ridiculed in the past, but now, with the revelation of the letter, it no longer seems impossible. Perhaps this is the truth the royal family has been trying to conceal for all these years. The words in the letter have changed everything suddenly. What was once unthinkable now not only makes sense, but also seems far too fitting. In the early 1980s, Diana was hospitalized several times under vague circumstances, officially due to stress or private health issues. However, insiders now reveal there were discussions concerning her fertility concerns. Quiet conversations between doctors' aides and royal advisors. If Charles and Diana were as estranged at that time as many suggest and a public heir was needed, could the crown have arranged for a surrogate behind closed doors? The palace holds power and motive. All it requires is secrecy. Charles's words, not hers from the very beginning, take on a different meaning now. When considering a surrogate, Diana may have been asked to raise the child, playing the role of a mother without any biological connection. This could explain the letter and her long silence. Royal experts now suggest that this theory is no longer just speculation, but may explain the emotional distance, even the lifelong sense of disconnection that Harry has always felt. If that's Charles trying to put into words what he's struggled with for years, many close to the royal family have noted that the relationship between Charles and Harry has always been strained. Public events unfolded formally, but lacked warmth, and the colder tone became more apparent as Harry grew older. Some attribute this to generational differences, but insiders see something else: emotional avoidance. A former palace aide reflected, "Charles seemed to never know how to emotionally connect with Harry, as if he wanted to, but didn't know whether he should." The royal family has always operated in a world of strict rules and quiet traditions. They keep their personal struggles private and expect everyone in the family to do the same. They resist change, cling to old traditions, and avoid public displays of emotion. But Diana didn't follow that path. She opened up about her pain, she bravely admitted to the isolation she felt, and she spoke about the overwhelming burden of being a royal in a way that no one had dared to talk about before. And because of her honesty, the public loved her all the more. Prince Edward, calm as ever, saw it all unfold. He saw how the royal family struggled to keep up, while Diana's openness connected her to the people in ways the royal family could not. Her truth not only revealed her own struggles, it exposed the backwardness of the monarchy. For generations, the family had carefully shaped how the world saw them. They kept their image polished and aloof, but Diana could not be managed or contained. Her sincerity, the very thing that endeared her to everyone, also became the greatest threat to the old royal system. She made people feel something real, something personal, and that made her more than just a difficult royal. It made her a challenge to everything the monarchy had built over the years. The more they tried to silence or limit her, the more it became clear that their grip on the public trust was fraying. But inside Buckingham, the palace remains in absolute silence. Silence without statements, without explanations. Just quiet corridors, tense meetings, and growing panic. Behind that silence, insiders say it's fear. Why? Because this isn't just about one letter. It's about what else could be out there. A royal source confirms that a private crisis management team has been reactivated, similar to the team used during Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah. Their new task to control leaks, manage the fallout, and uncover the original documents. There are whispers now that more letters may have been sent to Diana, to William, or even to Harry himself. If just one more document surfaces, it could be a disaster, not only emotionally but legally, as questions about inheritance titles and royal succession laws could be raised. Prince William has known the truth. He has kept it hidden all these years. But if he knows and remains silent, then it's no longer just a family secret. It's a betrayal that could tear them apart forever. The pressure of knowing this truth, Prince William, the heir and the face of the modern monarchy, has been raised from birth to lead. But after this letter, his silence is beginning to attract attention and suspicion. Because if this secret was known within the palace, William may have known for a long time. Prince William and Prince Harry, long familiar names in the public eye, have gone through many ups and downs in their lives. However, perhaps nothing compares to the pain of losing their beloved mother, Princess Diana. For both of them, Diana's death was not just a family loss, but a major turning point that changed their lives forever. The truth is, after their mother's passing, the relationship between William and Harry gradually began to fracture. This is not an easy truth to admit, but the discord had been simmering for a long time, and it became one of the factors that led to the significant changes in their lives. William couldn't stop himself as he watched the warmth in his mother's eyes, the way Diana gently tucked Harry's hair behind his ear, and the moment she whispered into his ear, making Harry burst into laughter. Although the words couldn't be heard clearly, the emotion in those gestures conveyed a powerful message. This video was not just a memory, but a door that opened to a past William didn't realize he had buried so deeply. As he watched those moments, he couldn't help but feel the pain of loss, as if a part of the past had slipped away, never to return. Prince William, standing beneath his mother's statue, continued. "My mother's voice has always guided me," he said with a solemnity that made the world seem to pause and listen. It wasn't just a tribute, it was a bearing of his soul, a truth never shared beyond the palace walls. He slowly revealed the words Diana had whispered to him just before she passed, words no one else had heard. William also began to understand the reasons Diana had once fought. Some issues were still evolving while others had quietly faded over time. He reached out, inquiring about everything and wondering if there was anything he could do to help. He wasn't trying to replace Diana, he simply wanted to carry a part of her forward. And that was how to keep kindness alive. Over time, William started thinking about something more lasting, a place to honor Diana in a way that felt authentic. Not a grand monument, not a cold gallery, but something soft, familiar, and personal. He imagined a space filled with fragments of Diana, not just objects, but moments. A peaceful garden or a quiet room adorned with her photographs. a space where people could sit and remember without judgment, where she could feel like herself. Diana did something unprecedented in royal history. She made people feel that the crown was not just a symbol, but something real and warm. For so long, the royal family lived hidden behind layers of rules, distance, and quiet dignity. They were not allowed to appear as ordinary people with emotions and flaws. They were supposed to represent tradition, stability, and history. But Diana turned that idea on its head. She did not hide behind guards or large gates. She was soft, open, and never afraid to show affection in public. Instead of just waving from afar, she walked into the crowd smiling at strangers touching their hands and looking them in the eye with warmth. That gentle intimacy felt new and special. She brought the royal world down to earth, closer to the common man, and people felt more connected to her than ever before. But what seemed beautiful to the public felt dangerous inside the palace. This change was not taken lightly. It shook the royal family to its core. No royal has ever been as naturally and deeply loved as Princess Diana. She did not perform her duties as if they were just a job. Her actions came from her heart. Diana was not just present at official events, but went to hospital beds when others were too afraid to come near. When the world stigmatized people with HIV/AIDS, Diana touched them, hugged them, and made them feel appreciated. She did not need the limelight. She needed real change for those who were suffering. Her trips into landmines were not for show, but to raise awareness and fight for those forgotten in war and conflict. In her efforts to remain authentic, Diana gradually found herself exhausted. Her strength and independence were also her greatest pain. She could no longer force herself to play the role of a silent, smiling royal. She opened up about her pain and showed everyone what life behind the royal curtain was really like. But her family was not prepared for such openness. They did not know how to react to such honesty. And so it leaves us all with an important question: did Diana's approach help the monarchy grow, or did it tear it apart? Read on to find out. The role Diana played. Many believe that Diana gave the royal family a second chance, because before she came along, interest in the monarchy was fading. To the public, it had begun to look like something from the past, rigid, unapproachable, and stuck in its old ways. But when Diana arrived, everything changed. She brought a new energy, a gentle light that drew people back to the royal family. Diana made the royal family feel important again, and whether they accepted it or not, she ushered them into a new chapter of history. Her presence didn't just draw attention. It opened up hidden corners. Some believe that Diana herself uncovered truths that the royal family had tried to keep quiet for years. By speaking openly about the trauma, loneliness, and pressures she faced inside the palace, Diana lifted the veil that had been placed on the monarchy's image of perfection. She showed the world that behind the diamonds and the glittering golden halls lay a closed, cold, and prejudiced place. Her honest words left a deep mark on the public, a truth that long after her death, the British royal family is still struggling to heal. Diana's public life was a performance, a mask she wore for the cameras, the tabloids, and a nation longing for a princess. But in her private diaries, Diana was not performing. She confessed. These pages, never widely published, revealed the painful, raw journey of a woman pushed to the brink. She wrote about her loneliness, her insecurities, and the growing fear that she was losing control of her life. "He hates that they love me more than him," she wrote, referring to Charles and the increasing tension as her fame soared. She spoke openly about her battle with bulimia, her cries for help. I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an extraordinary and talented person, especially in her dedication to her two sons, and the brutal silence that followed every time she sought support. Yet even in her darkest moments, Diana continued to fight for herself and for her sons. "They are the only part of my life that matters," she wrote. "I will not let them become shadows." Diana feared that William and Harry would be used as royal symbols, emotionally distant, obsessed with image, and cut off from the world around them. In hindsight, we can see how prophetic her words were. In her diaries, she warned of emotional repression, the coldness of the monarchy, and a future where love would be hidden behind titles. However, her honesty gave her son something that most royal family members never received the right to be vulnerable. Her diaries, combined with her final letter, formed a resonant and clear message. Protect love over legacy. Protect the heart over hierarchy. Diana's final wish was not just to secure the future of her sons. It was about ensuring they stayed true to themselves, that they didn't become prisoners of the cold traditions of the monarchy. Now Diana's final wish is no longer a secret. The entire monarchy is at a pivotal moment that will shape its future. This is no longer just a private family drama. It has become a test for everything the crown represents and what it will evolve into. Will Prince William follow the path of the kings before him, or will he embrace the vision Diana laid out, a monarchy led by compassion, not ego? The weight of that decision now rests heavily on his shoulders. Will this shared truth bring them back together? Or is the gap between them too wide, with too many words spoken and too little forgiveness? The palace has yet to make an official statement, and don't expect one anytime soon. But make no mistake, everything has changed. The Queen is gone. Charles is growing older, and the next generation of the royal family is rising under the shadow of a woman who challenged the system and paid the ultimate price for it. And that's all we want to share about Princess Diana's mysterious and moving letter. Her legacy lives on, continuing to shape not only the lives of her two sons, but also the future of the British royal family. The biggest question remains unanswered: will William and Harry, despite walking two different paths, be able to fully honor their mother's final wish? Or will this truth continue to be a rift between them? If this story has touched your heart, don't forget to like and leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about Diana's legacy and the future of the monarchy. And to not miss other untold royal stories, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching.